Many men come to my office with a concern they rarely dare to share with anyone else. It's an issue that doesn't just affect the body, it shakes their confidence and the very essence of their intimacy. They say, "Dr. Mariah, something's wrong. I just can't anymore." And the sentence hangs in the air. If you're over 60 and noticing your ejaculation isn't what it used to be, maybe weaker, maybe delayed, or maybe you just can't ejaculate at all, I want you to know two things. First, you're not alone. Second, this isn't normal and it doesn't have to be your reality. There's a silent enemy, or rather, two silent enemies, working behind the scenes, quietly destroying your intimate life. And the pharmaceutical industry profits from your belief that the only solution lies in pills or injections. But they're wrong. I'm Dr. Mariah Kirat, and after over 3 decades as a men's health specialist, I'm here to expose these two enemies. I'll show you exactly what they are, how they work, and, most importantly, how you can fight them naturally, using the power already in your kitchen. In this video, we'll uncover why this is happening and what it reveals about your overall health, especially your prostate. This isn't about a magic fix. It's about proven science and an action plan you can start today. Stay with me, because understanding these enemies is the first step to defeating them and reclaiming your vitality. And for those who stick around until the end, I'll share a bonus tip, a 2-minute habit that can dramatically speed up your recovery. Before we dive in, if you value truth and want to stay strong, energized, and confident, I ask you to subscribe and hit the bell. That way, you'll get honest content made for men like you. If you like what you hear, comment 1. If not, comment 0, and tell me what you're looking for. My mission is to serve you. Now let's discover the power of the first enemy and the fruit that fights it. You'll be surprised. The first silent enemy attacking your ejaculatory function is something that impacts your entire body, but shows up clearly in your intimacy: poor blood circulation. Think of your circulatory system as the highways that deliver energy and resources to every part of your body. Over time, those highways can get clogged, narrow, and inefficient. Let me tell you about James. At 65, James was a man who always prided himself on his strength, but he came to me describing something that was deeply undermining him, an ejaculation that had become weak, almost without force. He used a phrase that stuck with me. "Dr. Mariah, it feels like there's no pressure in the system." He was frustrated, and his confidence was fading along with that sense of power. What James described is a classic symptom of our first enemy at work. You see, ejaculation isn't a simple event. It's an incredibly complex neuromuscular process that requires perfect coordination between your nerves, muscles, and, most critically, robust blood flow. For the powerful rhythmic contractions of orgasm to happen, the pelvic floor muscles need a surge of oxygenated blood. If circulation is weak, those contractions lose strength, resulting in an ejaculation that feels weak or diminished. And the key to that vigorous blood flow has a name: nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is your body's messenger of strength. It's a miraculous molecule that signals your artery walls to relax and expand. When you have healthy levels of nitric oxide, your arteries transform from narrow tubes into wide superhighways, letting blood flow with force and volume to where it's needed most. Unfortunately, nitric oxide production naturally declines with age, which is why we need to give our bodies the tools to produce it again. And that's where our natural weapons come in. The first weapon, as we saw in our previous video, is the pomegranate. It's rich in punicalagin, a polyphenol that protects your arteries and has been shown to boost nitric oxide production. But today, I want to add a powerful ally to it: watermelon. Watermelon is one of nature's richest sources of an amino acid called L-citrulline. When you consume L-citrulline, your body efficiently converts it into L-arginine, the direct building block for nitric oxide. Together, pomegranate and watermelon form an unbeatable duo to restore the health of your circulatory highways. I gave James a simple plan: a glass of pomegranate juice in the morning and 2 slices of watermelon as an afternoon snack. No pills, no complicated treatments. 2 weeks later, James came back to my office. The look on his face was different. He didn't just feel the difference. He saw the difference in strength and volume. In his words, "The pressure's back, Dr. Mariah. I feel strong again." That's the proof of what happens when you tackle the first enemy. You're not just improving a symptom, you're restoring a foundational system in your body. And when circulation is optimized, the stage is set to defeat the second enemy, which we'll discuss next. But circulation, vital as it is only half the battle. The second enemy attacking your intimate function is more subtle, more insidious. It doesn't operate in your arteries, but in your brain chemistry and hormonal balance. I'm talking about a nervous and hormonal system overloaded by stress. Let me tell you about Michael. At 58, he came to my office with a problem that was isolating him from his wife: delayed ejaculation and a profound loss of pleasure. He described a sense of anxiety, a disconnect between his mind and body. He told me, "Dr. Mariah, it's like I'm there, but I'm not feeling anything. The joy is just gone." Michael's story is a perfect example of our second enemy at work. He wasn't just fighting age, he was fighting chronic stress. You see, when we live under constant stress, whether from work, finances, or health worries, our body goes into fight or flight mode. It releases a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is helpful in small doses to handle emergencies, but when it becomes chronic, it turns into a true villain for men's health. Cortisol is a direct antagonist to 2 compounds critical to your vitality: testosterone and dopamine. Testosterone, as we know, is the engine of desire and strength. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of pleasure, reward, and motivation. When cortisol is high, testosterone and dopamine plummet. The result? Desire fades, sensitivity diminishes, and the feeling of pleasure becomes much harder to achieve. Your nervous system is in a state of alert, not pleasure. So, how do we fight this invisible enemy? By nourishing our hormonal system with the right tools. The first weapon against hormonal imbalance is the avocado. As we saw in our previous video, it's rich in healthy monounsaturated fats, the raw material for testosterone production. And it has a secret weapon against stress: vitamin B6, which helps your body regulate and reduce cortisol levels. But I want to introduce a new powerful ally: pumpkin seeds. They're one of nature's richest sources of 2 crucial minerals, zinc and magnesium. Zinc is absolutely essential for testosterone production. Men with low zinc levels almost always have low testosterone. Magnesium, meanwhile, helps calm the nervous system and improves sleep quality, which is vital for keeping cortisol in check. Plus, zinc is critical for prostate health. The plan for Michael was simple: half an avocado a day and a handful of pumpkin seeds as a snack. He was essentially feeding his hormonal and nervous system. By nourishing his body this way, Michael didn't just improve his function, he rediscovered, in his own words, the pleasure and connection he thought he'd lost forever. Anxiety lessened and joy returned. By defeating the enemy of circulation and the enemy of hormonal imbalance, you're creating a body that doesn't just function, it feels. The stage is set for complete vitality. And now, let's bring it all together with the final piece of our puzzle. We've uncovered the 2 silent enemies: poor circulation, which steals strength, and hormonal imbalance, which dims pleasure. We've seen how pomegranate and watermelon can reopen your body's pathways, and how avocado and pumpkin seeds can fuel your hormones. But what happens when you combine all of this? What happens when a man doesn't just fight one enemy, but creates an environment where neither can thrive? Let me tell you about William. At 70, William didn't have a specific complaint, but a general sense that life was in black and white. He'd settled. He wasn't sick, but he wasn't alive either. He told me, "Dr. Mariah, I'm just existing." His plan was to integrate everything. He didn't just focus on circulation or hormones alone. He started seeing his body as a system: a glass of pomegranate juice in the morning, half an avocado at lunch, a banana, and a handful of pumpkin seeds in the afternoon. For the first time in decades, he was nourishing his body completely. A month later, the transformation was profound. He didn't talk about erections or volume. He talked about something far more fundamental. He said, "Dr. Mariah, I started dreaming again. I wake up with ideas. I want to start projects. That mental fog I didn't even know I had. It's just gone." What William experienced was the power of synergy. When blood flows freely, your brain gets more oxygen. When hormones are balanced, mood and motivation stabilize. Energy isn't something you have to chase. It's something you simply have. That's the real victory. It's not about turning back to 20. It's about living your current age with the fullness of your strength, clarity, and passion. And for those of you who stayed until the end, here's the bonus tip that can accelerate everything. Kegel exercises. Yes, they're incredibly powerful. They directly strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, the same muscles responsible for the strength and control of your ejaculation. It's simple. Contract the muscles you'd use to stop the flow of urine, hold for 3 seconds, and relax for 3 seconds. Do 10 repetitions twice a day. It's an invisible exercise with very visible results. These are the fundamentals. But I know some of you are ready to go further. For those ready to accelerate this journey, to take a decisive step toward this complete transformation, I've prepared something special. There's a powerful method my patients have been using, a 60-second ritual to reactivate male potency. It's a simple, science-based protocol that amplifies everything we've discussed today. If you're serious about rewriting your story, click the first link in the description. It's there to transform the lives of men like you. If this message resonated in your heart, I ask a small favor. Share this video. Think of a father, a brother, a dear friend, a man you respect who deserves to hear that vitality has no expiration date. And now I want to hear from you. What's your biggest question or concern about men's health? Drop your topic suggestion in the comments below. I promise to read every comment to create videos that truly answer your questions. To never miss these future conversations, click the subscribe button and hit the bell. Together we can redefine what it means to age with strength. Thank you for your trust and for being part of this mission.